Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to Blast the Process. I'm your host, Listar, and I got with me Chronoon, another one of our lovely peoples in charge here. How you doing, Chronoon?
I'm pretty good. I'm still waking up, but I'm pretty good.
And I'm now with K47, and I'm still here.
Hi, still here. Sorry. I should have introduced you too. I apologize. Chronoon is the only one out of all of us who actually has been getting any sleep. So Chronoon, go ahead and take it away if you'd like. You are
all right.
All set.
Thank you. Well, I mean, I don't think anyone doesn't know this run by now, but this is a very glitchy run. Only the first 3 acts are going to be glitchless, but things are going to get, well, there's a glitch. Okay, I lied. But things are going to get pretty crazy. I actually was practicing Knuckles and not Sonic before this marathon, so I'm totally ready. The one
mic is live and you're typing a lot.
So
I hate to interject here, but there is like weird hum coming through somebody.
That would be Chronoon.
Is it me? I mean, it's my mic is right next to my computer, and I do have the boost on, which tends to amplify that type of stuff.
Yeah, fans can be loud.
All right.
Yeah, that's most likely my computer. I mean, I can turn my computer off, but then this won't work quite as well.
Yeah, try that. That worked. All right. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to deal with it then. All right, go ahead.
You said there's no game audio also.
No game audio.
It's just really slow. Okay.
I mean, I can raise the game audio, but it's gonna drown out everyone else. Might be able to do it later.
If you boost the audio, yeah, sorry, I'll take the blame on that. It's just low.
I'm just teasing. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, so in terms of the run, the only thing that I am a little worried about is actually a launch base. There's a frame perfect trick there, and I usually need some good practice on pausing to get that right. I should be able to get it. If not, things will get a little weird. I might have to do a glitchless. It's whatever. Everything else should be fine. I'll try to show off all the new tricks as I can, except for the newest new tricks because I don't know those yet.
Yeah, there's been an amazing amount of science in this game in the past year and a half.
It's really amazing. Like, we've broken this game even more than it already was, and it was already in shambles. Launch base is probably where it started off. We are able to skip all of Act 2, which is a huge time save. Previously, you could skip the stage, but not the boss and the cutscene, because even at that time, we didn't even skip cutscenes. But we can skip all that now, and more. So it's pretty nice. It's a very fun run, but very intensive with glitches, which means if I fail a glitch, most of them I can recover, but some of them lead to soft locks. Pretty much just soft locks. But yeah, that's I think that's it. I might as well just show the game and you guys can see. So I'm pretty much ready to go. Is everyone else ready?
I'm ready.
Alright, just taking a swig of some energy. Yeah, okay. I'll do a countdown from 3 to go, and then let's get rolling. Running. Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. And good luck to myself.
Good luck.
Yeah, in this game you do need it. So he's using a save file not just because of possible soft locks. Ooh, nice streak started off. Getting this run started on the best foot possible with a glitch. spin dashing, releasing it one frame before the perfect frame gives you that jump kind of straight up in the air, or if you're on a slope, kind of in the direction of that slope.
So I wanted to go top route. It's faster by like 1 to 3 seconds, but fortunately I flubbed with that straight jump there, so kind of out of the question. Oop, got blocked by the block there. Happens.
Yeah, that's subpixels. I mentioned it a little bit in the previous 2 runs. As you might guess, it's just position data more precise than a pixel.
Alright, 61's actually kind of a poor time for Angel Island 1, but I'm just getting warmed up, so it should be fine. Should be. Also should be. A little slow there. See if I can. Nope.
Using the bubble shield too. That's not a huge deal, but there is a strat that you use the bubble shield for to skip a little bit of platforming. First here, you don't have to hit the spring. If you have the bubble shield, you can bubble bounce on the right part of the terrain. But then up here for this lightning shield, you would have been able to use a bubble bounce to go all the way up to that kind of intermediate level where Sonic is supposed to be kind of switching back to the left. Nice jump though, with that slow jump there, only a couple frames where that works. And that saves a couple seconds. Now, what he's going to be doing here is he's actually going to be slowing down a little bit and then jumping and using the lightning shield ability at a particular position there. And he's also going to do a spin dash charge from a specific position in a little bit after this as well. If he does all that correctly, which looks like the first part of the setup he got right, he will be loading the bridge into a specific memory slot, and that will allow him to skip the Knuckles cutscene without having to reset the game. It takes a little bit of time to set this up, but if you get it, it is faster than resetting by a few seconds. And resetting is, in turn, a few seconds faster than just watching the cutscene, at least as Sonic.
Ah, nice.
So,
Whoop!
perfect jump right there.
Yeah. I kind of messed up the end there. Actually, the way I was gonna do it wouldn't save any time. There is a way to save 1 second with going top route there. At least I gotta show off the geyser jump. Whoop. Lots of silly mistakes. I just didn't hit the path switcher.
Yeah, that was actually very close to hitting the path switcher, so, like, it was close.
You could also have got a much better jump on that little ramp that I did jump off. Unfortunately, I suck and wasn't able to get a good height.
Ideally, he would have got more than 2 hits there and kept his rings, but this boss is a troll, so that happens sometimes. You can also get insta-shield hits as it passes, but that's really only something you should do if you feel comfortable doing it. This is actually one of the hardest bosses to optimize in the run. It's not hard to beat, but to optimize it requires both luck and skill, and often just kind of scrambling to get hits.
Yeah, it is possible to just bounce off the top of that boss for all 6 hits. It's really hard though.
I have never got all 6 hits that way. I have always gotten hit after hit 5, if not sooner. That death is intentional, by the way. One of the features in Sonic 3 and Knuckles is that Act 1 and Act 2 can be loaded at the same time. Dying in Act 2 will unload Act 1. That allowed him to do a sub-pixel manipulation and clip using that moving ball into the floor, which then allowed him to get past the level boundary. Instead of getting back into Act 1, underflow his coordinates like Pancakes did a few times in Sonic 2, and up at the end of the level, which Sonic 3 and Knuckles has what is called a loopback area. In that area, he did a spin dash, which got him up to the height needed to hit this the camera for this boss fight, which then just kind of put him there because the camera locked, and he was able to then get a specific positioning where he would land on the water jet that came up, but not get hit by the propellers, and get a really quick kill on Robotnik using the Insta-Shield. The Insta-Shield, by the way, is OP, honestly. It's 16 frames, I believe, of like an extended hitbox that shields Sonic from damage and damages enemies. And it is very, very powerful and will be abused throughout this run. Also, thanks for the raid, Argic.
Thank you, Argit.
And if you're wondering, Arg, yes, I did give you a shout out during not Wing Fortress, but Sky Chase. So he did some screen wraps there, which is the same principle as it was in Sonic 2, where in a vertically wrapping stage you can unload sprites, and he went through a few death planes and did some shenanigans with that to get here into the loopback area. Now, just as important is this setup here. He wants Tails in a specific position, so that when Robotnik spawns in the wall here, for whatever reason, he's able to do some spin dashes and get Sonic and Tails in particular positions. Tails is going to get hit here, or already did hit, I have muted and I forget, but he's then going to kill the boss in the wall, and use Tails to hit the capsule here in a little bit. So that's going to be a way to beat this level without actually beating Act 1. It's going to say, hey, you got through Act 1, let's do the countdown, then fade out and put you in Carnival Night. One thing to note, which has burned me in pretty much every marathon run I've ever done of this, and a lot of races as well, is if you have something happen and have to reset, or if you game over in Carnival Night, the game does not treat you as actually having progressed there in terms of its save data, because you didn't progress the memory far enough in the proper way for whatever reason, and so you will have to do Marble Garden again if that happens.
Okay, so I'm gonna be a little risky here and try the risky strat on Carnival Night. If it fails, I'll just come back and do the up method, which is a lot safer, but a little bit slower.
There are a couple methods for this boss fight. There's one where you just look up and it just works. It's slower, but it works. This method is a little bit trickier. He's going to be trying to make sure Tails does not hit the boss, and then he's going to be hitting the boss in particular ways, so that if all goes well, he will defeat the boss maintaining Slip Glitch. Unfortunately, he got a bad bounce there. He does still have Slip Glitch. It is possible for him to manipulate Tails to get the boss defeated here. We'll see if he's able to do that. It's going to be tricky.
It does not look likely at this point. I can try to get on the top one more time, but this is probably going to be a death here.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Things are still not looking good, though.
No.
Oh, man.
So at this point, he's kind of at
Whoop.
the mercy of this bounces around. Oh.
Yeah, I tried to roll off there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that spin, he might have been able to salvage it. He only needed, I think, 2 more hits. But anyway, now you're going to get to see the look-up method, and that'll be a few seconds slower, but it is much safer. As long as he doesn't do that, that is actually very easy to do. This setup for the level wrap is deceptively hard. As in, it's not actually hard, but it's just really easy to mess up, because it's kind of all based on feel.
Yeah, this is a stage where probably most of my resets happen in for a lot of people, especially on the boss. It's just a really tricky boss to do.
Even as Sonic Solo, it is probably the single biggest killer of my run.
Okay, so this is lookup, or not lookup, sorry, up method. So by scrolling the screen up, the top is just going to bounce off the bottom of the screen. So we're just going to rely on Tails here to bop the robot enemy bowling pin a few times. See, I can actually spin dash for this last hit, but just want to play it safe. And that's it. It's guaranteed to work. Depending on how you manipulate Tails, it's faster or slower. You can actually get I think a 104. And there's variations. There's like a diagonal method that Control uses.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the fast method, you can get times under 1 minute fairly consistently. So he still has the wheel glitch, which is what allowed him to just kind of fall to the left and get the level wrap. And now he's going to be kind of progressing through the stage in a very strange way because of those weird physics. And then he's going to use it to, if all goes well, get on top of the stage, falling to the right, and go right to the boss.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
You could have still done
the old
method at that point.
Yeah, I could have done the ancient method, and just like the fact that I would have to do it just boggled me for a second because I haven't done it in so long. This level in particular has gone through so many changes. Me being on the ceiling there is like the most recent method. You can get a time like under a minute easily. It's not too hard to do, so unfortunately I have to do this glitchless. Shoutouts to Mike. It happens. Just don't worry about it. It is a pretty crazy stage. It would have been nice to show off the old method again, but there is a soft lock potential on that, so
Yeah.
it's hard to say how good that would have turned out, especially with my level of skill right now.
Yeah, if there is a very easy and consistent way to not soft lock there, but the unfortunate thing is that if you're not in practice, you miss that window, and there is a very high chance of soft locking. So basically, the way that would have worked is he would have gotten into Knuckles' path by kind of using the weird physics to run and kind of fall through the floor where Knuckles' path starts, where he would break through the breakable barrier. You kind of clip into it and then zip into Knuckles' path. If you don't do it right, if you have the wrong velocity entering it, you can just get stuck instead, and that's the risk. If you slow yourself down twice while you're approaching that, you will never, as far as I know, get the soft lock, but it's something that I definitely do not blame Chronoon for not going if he's not at all in practice for it.
Yeah, I'm a little ashamed of having to do this glitchless, but I mean, it's a marathon. You never really know what's gonna happen.
You know what happened to me the last time I ran this in a marathon?
There's many things, but shoot.
I had to do Marble Garden twice, and then I had to do this glitchless after all anyway.
Oh man. Yeah, it's... I'm glad I was able to get Marble Garden. That would have been pretty bad for, like, me psychologically if I couldn't get, like, the first major glitch down. It's... like, all these glitches have these kind of high risks, high costs to them. I mean, oh, sorry, go ahead, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, when I say that I had to do Marble Garden twice, I mean because I kind of had something weird happen that tricked my brain into pressing the wrong direction in Carnival Night 2, and I soft locked, having to reset and then do Marble Garden again.
Oh man.
So I didn't mess up Marble Garden. And oh wait, I did mess up Marble Garden, so I actually had to do it 3 times technically, because I messed it up on the second try. This is a very unforgiving run. He reset there to skip the in-between level transition, but because he actually beat both acts of Carnival Night, it did progress into Ice Cap, so it saves.
Yeah, as you grind this game a lot, somehow you are just able to get all these tricks in a row. That's how records and PBs are made. But like, in a marathon setting, it's kind of just solo, so all the risk can kind of just gather in one place. Oh, Tails, hey. Okay, I'm gonna actually do an old strat of getting slope glitch here, so it'll make it a little quicker. And then hopefully slope glitch works well.
Sonic stands on a sprite-based object and then it is unloaded. He gets what is called slope glitch, and that means that he kind of just keeps running on whatever slope he's on, and that allows this setup here. He at least got the, okay, this is going to be Sonic's path, which is not ideal, but is still fine. Like, you'll definitely take this in a marathon run. You can get a slightly faster strat that skips the boss if you get Knuckles' path. He's also doing a little bit of off-screen maneuvering in the loop-back area to get down low enough to hit the boss area trigger. But...
Oh my god, Tails.
Yeah, Tails getting hit there was unfortunate. He was going to set up a juggle, basically, where he would just bounce off the bottom repeatedly like he did for the last few hits. But Tails got a hit and messed him up.
Alright, well, Ice Cap works as good as it could be. I really wanted to show off Boss Skip because it looks pretty crazy for an already crazy stage, but I'm going to be quiet for a little bit because it's this stage. It'll seem pretty slow at first, but it'll all make sense if I can get it. If I don't get it, then it won't make any sense.
There are 2 setups for this. Both involve taking slope glitch into the boss fight here. And you don't get to the boss fight normally. You actually end up in Knuckles' area, which causes some shenanigans. But first, let's see if he's able to get this. He's going to get hit
Oh,
into
wow.
this, hopefully charge it. Okay, he didn't get the spin dash. What he wanted to do there was get hit to the elevator, charge a spin dash, and then do a very precise spin dash release. Bear in mind that the game still considers him only progressed to Ice Cap because he only beat Act 1 of Ice Cap technically. So there's only so much risk he's going to want to take here. There's chance of soft lock in this trick as well, so it is particularly risky. Soft lock or death if you miss it. Okay, he got the spin dash this time. Okay,
That's
so
pretty unfortunate. I was a frame late. There is a way to save it, but I'm not practiced at it. I am gonna try this a 3rd time. Is it a bad idea?
wow.
I think I'm just gonna do it.
See, at this point, I would have honestly just done
Whoop.
the old spike wrap method and
Oh man,
done.
mistakes are everywhere. I guess I'll just play it out. Oh man, I feel really bad about that. I'm sorry guys. This is like a trick I pride myself in because I helped discover it. But
He's also better at it than most people. There's another safer method which he could still technically do here, but if you're not practiced in it, then you know, why would you do a method? Oh, you are going?
I've never done it before, honestly. I just gave it a shot.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so what he was trying to do there is roll, you can also spin dash, and get a frame-perfect jump on that platform, which gives you slope glitch. There's then, you can then drop down, and you get the same level wrap with slope glitch active that you would have got if you had done the trick the way you wanted to initially. From there, what he would have done is he would have fought Knuckles' boss. He would have only had to beat one of the two enemies there in order to get the stage completed, which would have meant that he could then wait a little bit. Would have needed the slope glitch to survive because the floor under Sonic would have disappeared, but slope glitch would have left him standing on nothing. Then he would have killed the second boss once the game had progressed to being in Act 2. And at that point, it would have completed Act 2 because, oh, he just beat the boss, so Act 2, right? And then a reset would put him in Mushroom Hill. Instead, he's going to have to beat Launch Base in its entirety.
I can't stress enough how bad I feel about doing this. Probably one of the funniest things about doing that trick is that because you have slope glitch, you have kind of weird properties. Well, basically, there's a boost like the ones I've been hitting in this stage, and you can just like infinitely have the boost go as long as like you're frozen because of the score clear, the score countdown. And it looks really funny. It sounds really funny. It goes like bang 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 bang.
Mike89 did it in the SGDQ run this year.
I'm really happy he did that. So,
Yeah.
oh hey Tails, he's just having fun there, I guess. I don't know. Right? Whatever.
Yeah, Tails does some weird things in these games.
I don't know how I know the glitchless route, but I can't do the glitch. It's just whatever.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles is a very, very punishing speed run. Very difficult, very punishing. Things can go wrong, they usually do, and you just kind of hope that you don't lose too much time. So there is a level wrap that he could technically do.
I'm not sure if I could do it though. I mean,
no, you wouldn't get the right subpixels.
Yeah.
He would have to die without hitting a checkpoint after getting an extra life to even be able to try it. So it's really not worth it. This is actually kind of a cool level glitchless, I think. So it's not the worst thing. But basically, where the game puts you after a death gives you the perfect subpixels if you get the trick to get the level wrap. Otherwise, the subpixels will mess up and you won't get the zip or the level wrap and you'll die. Unless you get incredibly lucky, you're just kind of boned if you don't have the right subpixels. That trick, by the way, also requires a perfect spin dash, which is a frame-perfect trick, and a frame-perfect jump. So, even if you have that, it is far from free.
Yeah, people think the new launch base is hard. Honestly, the old one was insane.
Yeah,
I can't imagine requiring runs to get that. Oh, whoop. It's the Knuckles. Oh man. Maybe I should have just done Knuckles. Maybe that would have worked out better.
Knuckles is the shorter category because he has fewer stages. And just about as many game-breaking glitches.
Yeah, even though I'm not having a good track record on this run, I'm still gonna go for absolutely everything I can, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and the level wrap in Act 2 that requires the 2-frame perfect tricks right in a row would have put him right at that boss that he just beat, the second to last one, and he would have still had to do this section, which, since we've switched to RTA minus time bonus, is one of the biggest reasons that the slower setup to get the Act 2 skip still saves a significant amount of time.
That's right, Ben.
Yeah, in the old method where it was pure in-game time, with this whole section with the clock not running, obviously would not be time. And that right there is insta-shield at work.
Pretty easy boss, to be honest.
At least as Sonic. It's a little bit trickier as other characters because they don't have insta-shield, but it's still not super hard.
Yeah, Knuckles is pretty risky because he has the big hand fight as well, and the Stratus damage boost the first phase there. Still working on it.
Rings.
A lot of rings, yeah.
So this trick is the bane of my existence, so I don't go for it. I can never seem to get the door to clip me into the floor, even when I seem to do the setup properly. Looked like Chronoon got it there, but he wasn't quite low enough or something. Anyway, you get the door to clip you into the ground. You can then do a setup to get yourself into a position where almost every single time you will get the level wrap. You just have to wait to see that last little thin tree that he saw there before he did the wrap, and now he's at the end of the stage, going to fight the boss. No rings, so if you're not confident on your insta-shielding this boss, you want to take it safe, but it does save some time.
Ooh, got like one of the last pixels on that electric box. I'm glad I got the electric box. It's a glitchless strat that I just love electric shield, so I'm happy now.
Yeah, the electric shield is legitimately useful in Act 2, and it's deceptively hard to get because it's so far away.
Oh my god. The shame.
So jumping off that mushroom before it bounces you can be a little bit tricky. You need to jump fairly quickly, and then as you saw there, he didn't jump high enough a couple times. And then, oh man.
Honestly. I mean, as long as it keeps going, right?
Yeah. So ideally he would have still had the electric shield, and this climb coming up in a little bit here, he would have been able to skip just a little bit of it with a jump and a lightning shield. Lightning jump. And ideally you'll be able to get 6 hits before going into the chase section, but that was still a good quick 3 hits after. The timing to get 6 hits is actually pretty precise. Another reset to skip the level transition into Flying Battery, and now he's going to pan the camera down right by this zipper, and that is going to allow him to activate 2 glitches. Yeah, that was...
Yeah, I wasn't...
Certainly a little bit...
Yeah, it seemed like a frame off or something. There we go. This should get it.
Yeah, so this is going to activate two glitches. Slope glitch, which is why he's running in the air there, as well as the collision bug that allows him to do this level as well, as intended. That is another FSE emote that unfortunately is not in this channel, but so it goes. You get this weird sprite, you can just go through walls, and because you have slope glitch, you can just get the right places and go through the entire stage really quickly. It's actually a pretty easy trick, so feel free to try it at home.
Sonic's just staring at me. He's baffled at how I can be so bad.
Yeah, so he wants to keep the lightning shield because it allows backup strats in the next level. There's an argument for losing it because of different things involving the trick he's going to be going for, but he just activated slope glitch again there by being on the capsule part of the boss as it was completed and replaced with the sprite that you see there now. So being on a sprite-based object as it was unloaded and getting slope glitch, which allows him to do one of two tricks. This one is the slightly older one. There's a boot strat that will allow you to go right to the final boss of this area, but this one is a bit easier, and so he zips pretty much to the end of the stage. That actually was not a level wrap, and now he's going to try to skip the lasers in this kind of mini-boss here. That can be done one of two ways. Either you get a pixel perfect spin dash, or you get a double spin dash as you get right to the laser. Both are very, very precise and very hard to do. So the new skip is particularly nice because you don't have to do laser skip at all. So you need a perfect spin dash if you're going to do the double spin dash method. And I believe you get the pixel method as well.
Yeah, I only recently been able to do the frame, not the frame perfect method, the quick method. It's called object phasing. It's actually, for Sonic, it's not really useful except for that one trick. There's a few other tricks you can use for it, but they lead to, well, there's like, if you do Launch Base 2 glitchless, there's a spikes, pair of spikes you can get through. I tried it there, failed. There's also a way to level wrap Lava Reef 1. Nobody's going for it yet because it's super hard and you have to get a first try to even save like a pithy amount of time. But it's pretty cool to pull off. It's actually really hard to learn though.
Yeah, I like to do the since I do Sonic alone, and I haven't really gotten good at the slow glitch method of skipping Act 2 entirely. I like to do that double spin dash through the spikes in the water section of Launch Base 2. I like to call it the swag double spin dash because it only saves like 1 second tops.
Feels so nice though. It's buttery.
Yeah. So Sinopolis 1 is one of the levels that most benefits from having tails. There is a very, very precise trick here that allows you to get a level wrap. Much like in Metropolis 3, he's going to get Tails to walk off the spot when Sonic stay on it. Then he's going to have Tails just push that box so that he's able to begin a zip basically in the same way that happened in Metropolis 3. Then he has to get a particular set of inputs. Important one is a jump, and if he does that right, he's going to get level wrap. It is all very tricky, and I would say harder than Metropolis 3, so getting it second try is very nice.
Of course I'd get this. I don't know why this? You know what, I can't be mad. How can I be mad? I don't know.
Yeah, this does save a good amount of time because normally you'd be getting here about a minute later than he did. So even the second try, that saved quite a bit. It also kind of messes up the layers here, which is fun. This boss is another good nap time, too.
Sonic got through Act 1 and into a TV.
So, Act 2 is also fairly broken, though the immediate start of the stage is going to look normal. Then you're going to see some screen wrapping techniques where you unload objects and get through them. The first of which is going to be right after he moves the ghosts here. He's going to unload a couple gates and some spikes, and that's going to allow him to get through this a little bit quicker than opening those gates. Then a couple lightning jumps, and he's past that section particularly fast. Here, this is one of the easiest clips to do in the game. You just have to jump from that flat part, do a full jump, and then hold left against the wall. A couple ways to, you can either roll off that platform or do the lightning jump to keep from clipping through that thing there, which is obnoxiously easy to do. And now, he's getting to a part where there are a couple different strategies you can do. He's doing the older method, the stair clip, and getting it first try. That's the hardest of 3 potential stair clips, by the way. What he did there was he approached the stair at a particular fast speed and angle, which allowed him to kind of trick the game into not knowing whether he should go through it or if he should end up just like not go on top of it or get stopped by it, so it kind of does neither and puts him through it. Then he's able to do some maneuvering in the wall and clipping through objects again to get through that entire section that would have slow sand falls that Sonic can't otherwise skip. And
there is actually a new method where you skip stair clip. I try to do it. I'm not practiced at it. So in that loop there, just before, well, there's 2 loops, but in the first one, if you get a good jump and you push against the right wall, you can actually get inside the wall and, oh, gotta get rid of electric shield for this one. And you can, it's quicker, you just go right to where stair clip leads you in the background.
Yeah, and there are a couple ways to do it, one of which is actually letting an aggro ghost damage you, and that's, I believe, the more consistent way, but I haven't messed around with that trick a lot myself.
Yeah, it's one of the most recently discovered tricks, so again, this game is still very active. Both in terms of runners and discoveries.
There's potential for a clip coming up here. There's manipulation for it, but if you don't do that, you just do the spin dash and hope you get the clip with the subpixels. Then there's another method that you can see him doing here. It saves a few seconds if you do it quickly. Of course, it's not a huge time save, so just going around is still fairly fast. Coming up, we have a much easier stair clip. You don't need as much speed, and the trigger is a little bit more consistent. He didn't get it, so he manipulated tails to break those blocks instead. So it's kind of preference what you do for those. You may as well at least go for the stair clip version once, even if you have tails around, because that puts you in the position you would want to be to manipulate tails.
Yeah, it's gonna be faster to go for that stair clip. But the method of manipulating tails is really easy. Props to Control for finding all these good strats.
Yeah, there's a few people who are pretty much new blood in terms of Sonic speedrunning overall, who've been doing a lot of work in breaking this game this awesome.
Talking as loud as I can, Lord. Yeah, it's
That was
always...
very close.
Okay, so that is something that pretty much nobody's been able to get consistently. You can skip all of Act 2. If you get clipped by that monitor, it's really complicated. There's multiple frame-perfect inputs you have to do. There's a few that are not frame-perfect, but it's definitely a very hard trick. But it's really sweet. It saves over a minute.
And this guy who's running the game right now got it and run a race backstage at SBDQ. So it's definitely something that is possible. It's very hard. So he's getting close to a 2-minute auto-scroller boss, give or take, and we do not like the idea of a 2-minute, give or take, auto-scroller boss. Fortunately, there is another scare clip that you can do, which is actually, I think, the easiest scare clip in the entire run, which is nice. And that allows you to skip this boss fight. So he's using the lightning shield here to kind of get up this area a little bit faster. It's convenient that it's on the path. And here he's going to be doing the spin dash, flipping into the stairs, and getting ejected right through those rocks. Going so fast that he just went right past him. Getting a late and fast press of right to put him facing to the right instead of back. And then he did a quick double spin dash to get through that second set of rocks. All of that, the hardest part, I think, is actually getting the setup for the first try double spin dash to the second set of rocks, because it's easy to press it too early and mess up the whole thing and die. Then against Knuckles, he manipulated Tails to get into the same space Knuckles is occupying, and that kind of messes with the game's programming.
Oh, if I can interrupt real quick. So notice those tentacles coming out of Robotnik. Look real quick. He's flying away. Okay, that's all.
Yeah, anyway, it messes with the programming in such a way that it's dealing more damage. Nice. And that just makes the fight really fast. You can also pretty easily just loop Knuckles at the right side of the screen too.
Okay, so here's a super important trick coming up. If you're under 18, well, you might need to avert your eyes. This is some dramatic stuff right here. It might be too much.
Oh my.
That's all I got.
Yeah, if you also press nothing, Sonic does another rather lewd thing. So, either way, I mean, it's easy to just kind of abuse Knuckles there. But he was a naughty boy messing with your run, so he deserved that spanking, I think.
What? I've never seen that before.
Wow.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen that before.
I've never seen it either. Also, have heard of it. Wow, that is a thing. So, he had very precise positioning there to have that thing pop up. And then because he was in the spin dash state, he was short enough to be inside it without getting crushed. But then releasing the spin dash made it go back down, crushing him. So, yeah, that that's the thing that can happen in this game. And Insta-Shield wrecks this boss. And then here is the, at least in a run that does not include the launch base 2 skip, the biggest cutscene skip in the run. Because with the launch base 2 skip, you don't even get to the point where you need to skip the cutscene. You skip the entire act before it. So Death Egg 1 is actually a pretty standard stage. It's fun to do, I think. I enjoy this stage a lot. A lot of interesting stuff with the... You're actually going for this? Oh man. So, what he's doing here, instead of a glitchless route, is he's getting Tails to raise that after he clips through into the floor, and this is going to skip him to a later part in the stage. So,
Okay.
well,
That's
all right.
that's much harder to do when you have 0 rings. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
You have to jump off of like, I don't know how many frames, but it's not much. So I'm happy about that. Not many people go for that trick because of reasons like that.
Yeah, you can miss it, you can soft lock, you can die, and it's not the biggest time save either. Like, it's significant if you get it quickly, but doing the stage well quickly is still going to be pretty close.
Yeah, it's only about 10 seconds time save, so you really need the rest of the stage and the boss to go pretty well.
Yeah, you also noticed he lost his lightning shield as a result. That makes this first phase a little bit less free. You can still beat it pretty quickly though. And honestly, phase 2 is not nearly as bad as a lot of people think it is if you just know the ways to bail out after getting the guaranteed 4 hits. Like, if I got into that phase, even if I had 0 rings, I would be pretty confident. I'd feel safe in being able to beat it. Oops. Yeah, another completely intentional death to unload Act 1 in the game's memory. If you've been paying attention to when that happens and what follows, yeah, it's another level wrap. This one is easily one of the hardest in the run. So what he's going to do here is he's going to have Tails fall down there. Then he's going to try to get Tails up above it, that staircase, like so. Then do a precise spin dash there to clip into the wall, and a precise setup in the wall.
Got sub-pixeled, unfortunately.
Okay, yeah. So bad sub-pixels there. That is not a soft lock, I don't think.
No, you can definitely get out in multiple ways, but I do have to die, and I am gonna try it again. If I mess up again, which is totally possible, I'll just play glitchless. Pretty sure we're running up against Estimate at this point, though.
You're already past it, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Chronoon, we all went over Estimate.
Well,
Gotta
that's
go
how it is. We were ahead anyway, so Let's use that as an excuse. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. Just there's different ways of manipulating Tails to get that to work, but
Yeah,
Tails is kind of a jerk.
He ended up in kind of a weird loop going around there repeatedly, so that kind of messed up the manipulation. Fortunately, once you get past that part, this clip into the wall, you can retry as many times as you need, but then the setup in the wall is honestly the hardest part of the trip.
Oh my god. I should have
Yeah.
I should have
That time-
seen my the frames. I should have paused and like got the frames. I'm used to that frame, but unfortunately I just was one frame late. That's
Now,
blah.
he is a little bit farther into the stage, so he's going to complete a glitchless now, and at least from that point on, after clipping into the wall, glitchless. But yeah, that is a very, very difficult trick. It requires, I believe there's more than one setup. Like, there's a frame-perfect way to do it, and then there are a couple different other ways it can go. I don't know the specifics of it because I haven't entirely learned that trick yet.
Yeah, the frame perfect method is the one that is most consistent, the one that everyone, well, I say consistent, but subpixels is just a random factor in the sense that it's invisible to us as RTA players. You can manipulate the subpixels, but you're only just cycling them. You don't know if like you had them right the first time or not. But there's other ways to do it. There's like another, whoops, there's another place to do it, but you have to get subpixel to get there in the first place. And I think Control also has another method of doing it.
That thing that Tails got caught by there is the one that you want to get caught by at least. It is just a whole bunch of circles in that area, and it wastes a bunch of time.
Yeah, I personally call them drunken noodles, but I don't know if that name is gonna stick.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what I'd even call them.
So somehow I got to the end of the game. Lack of sleep, I don't know. I'm done making excuses. Not much left here. This boss is a pushover. There's just nothing to say here. You can actually get stuck inside of him. I can't say how. I saw Dr. Fatbuddy when he was learning this game like do it just like randomly. So that's something cool that I'm sure most runners didn't know. But yeah, boss after this might be a little intimidating, but it should just go perfectly fine. I don't go for this, there's like a final glitch here where you can get slope glitch and just do spin dashes on him. But I prefer fighting this boss glitchless. It's a really fun boss. Hopefully I don't die.
Mike89 did that glitch method at S2DQ, so if you want to see that, it's pretty easy to find.
Ghost finger. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just because of the way the game loads sprite objects in its memory, and he was able to use the lightning shields and get the fingers right there instead. It's kind of a silly thing. Time is going to be on fade out.
Okay. Jumped a little late there, so I didn't get the 5 hits you can get. But yep, just about over. And time.
GG.
GG.
I think that was just a G, but thank you.
That's the way I felt about all my runs that have gone about like this.
Beating this game sub-hour is still not easy.
Yeah.
This game is not easy, bro.
When I run this game, I run it with generally a 55-minute or an hour estimate, just because I know things happen in this game.
Yeah, it's a tricky run. Honestly, should have just done Knuckles. It's too late now.
No, go ahead, restart.
All right, let's do it. Another hour down.
Another hour of
Clear the
Knuckles.
schedule. Blast the process.
It's Sonic 3 and Knuckles, everyone.
Let's see if I can fill up all 8 of the files. I'll do all emeralds for 4 of them. I'm just kidding. But yeah, this game is amazing. It's one of the best Genesis runs there are, in my opinion. So many glitches and so many things to do, even if you're just intimidated by all these glitches. We don't really have a glitchless. There's a ROM cut Sonic 3 Complete that is glitchless. It's kind of an issue. It's complicated, but feel free to just play this game. Going for individual level times is a blast. There's all sorts of tricks that you can learn, like just like frame perfect jumps on like Angel Island, like just trying to get top route, trying to get like sub 50 on Angel Island is like a huge difficult thing to do. It's an amazing game.
Yeah. And there's also a really fun kind of as intended, quote unquote, category that I kind of want to get a glitchless category that isn't using a ROM hack on the leaderboards at some point. So hopefully that'll happen. If enough people start running it, it might happen. So if you'd rather not have to deal with all these crazy tricks, you can do that. And you can also do the solo Sonic run, which has a lot of the glitches, but skips some of the hardest ones.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about Sandopolis and Death Egg 2, but you do have to worry about the early game, which I actually think is harder.
I
like
agree.
Ice Cap, Carnival Night especially is such a rough thing. Just one more thing, I guess. Sonic 3 alone, like just Sonic 3, is different. If you play this, please play Sonic 3 Knuckles. We actually don't have many resources for just Sonic 3. A lot of the glitches are a little bit different, and the physics are pretty dang different. It's actually a lot harder to play.
I have to learn Sonic 3 alone, and I'll tell you why later.
Okay.
I have to learn it by like December 10th. So
man.
woo! I'm excited for that.
But
All right.
yeah,
Anything else?
thanks for watching, guys. I'm sorry I had such a crappy run. But I'll be back with other hard games, and I'm gonna try to be in better shape for those. But yes, thank you for watching. Sonic Block will continue.
We'll be right back after these messages, and by these messages I mean some music, with Matthew 10 Wilson, excuse me, Matthew 10 Wilson with Sonic CD 2011. Be right back.